Hey there, welcome to my garden, my patio garden, my garden patio. Well, it's been a couple weeks since I've chatted with you folks, so we're gonna get to a short little walk through my garden, and by short I mean, the time it takes me to ramble on and point out the things that are exciting me currently. And I'll tell you what, we had a heat wave. It has been warm. It continues to be warm. Some things are happening, some things are struggling. Water bill is rising, but let's get to a walk through my garden. Okay, let's start here. First of all, check out, we've got one of the begonias blooming. This is done flowering. Oh my gosh. Did I show you when it was flowering? You know what? I'm gonna try to insert a picture that I took a week ago when it was in bloom. Some succulents going on. I didn't plug in the fountain today. It's a Sunday and I'm off to work. Ugh. Anyhow, the fuchsias are growing. This one doesn't look so hot. Perhaps it just needs better watering. Our heat wave has scorched my rhodogursia, who knows? Oh, look at my red Abyssinian banana. It's loving the heat. It drinks a lot. I can't wait to see how tall these leaves get. And it's gonna put out some shade. I just know it's gonna put out some shade. One of my angel trumpets, I'm just bonkers for my angel trumpets. And my crossvine Begonia has decided that it wants to grow. I need to finish the project where I'm gonna install it so it can thrive. This continues to impress me. I just love that color combination, that color scheme. That's growing nicely. My Savitsi, not albatross, Abutilon, Savitsi Abutilon is growing. Again, I have no idea what these are called, but they're growing. I've got all kinds of new growth on them. So we will continue to let them chill out here. They seem to be happy. The bog garden has seen better days. I think it was getting too much of that direct heat, and I think it was getting baked. There is some new life. You'll see there's some new life here. There's some new things happening right here. Some growth points here. I don't know, let me get out of the sun. Yeah, some growth happening here. That might be a goner. This, well, it's not dead. Is it growing? It looks about the same. That could be life. We'll see what happens there, but it is gonna be getting some partial shade throughout the day. My tabletop tomato has some little tomatoes on it. Can't wait to be able to enjoy those. And in my walkthrough today, keep your eye out for little turtles. The wife found a whole bunch of little random turtles. That was a neat surprise. She wasn't home when I got home this week. She was out for a few days. And as I walk around, I'm like, oh, there's a turtle. Oh, there's a turtle. Oh, look at that. All kinds of cool things. I've cut back my herbs and they're starting to, the oregano is love getting trimmed back. So now it is starting to grow again. This begonia is starting to get happy. It was struggling a little bit. Check out that Cardon. That has got to be 8, maybe 9 feet tall. That Cardon is just doing amazing. I can't wait to see those flowers open, but I am hoping that they just kind of hang out for about a month and a half. I'd love for them to be in bloom for my party in a month and a half. My second annual Hawaiian BBQ. We have some hollyhocks blooming, they're blooming. I'm not a huge fan of this color. Once they actually really get going, maybe it'll look kind of cool. But this was a nice thing to see. Check out that. I love that pink color. That works for me, but I want to see some of my darker ones bloom. Well, let's go down the line. Oh, look at my evergreen clematis. It is growing and vining still. Very happy about that. Everything here, if you recall last year, I planted some wildflowers here. Look at that. I don't remember what this is, but it's growing, it's blooming. We're gonna let that grow. That I remember is purple tansy. We'll let that grow. The wild lupin is done. This hollyhock bush tree plant is impressive. It is happy right there. I hope it has a color scheme that excites me, but the plant itself is looking really great. This year's canna lilies, protected by random chicken fencing and a fork to hold the chicken fencing up to keep that beast ginger from trampling them. They had a rough couple months to get going. My Cleopatra, I think I mentioned this last time we visited, but I can tell which is a Cleopatra because it has a chocolate variegation. There's probably others with that as well. Now that I have everything on proper irrigation again. Hey, and so that was one project I finally got done. I got my irrigation lines jiggered, moved around and whatnot. But the clematis is starting to grow again now that it's getting proper watering. I know I should probably plant something in front. It likes to have, I don't know the term, it likes to have something in front of its feet. No, I don't know. Just bear with me here. Bear with me here. My pomegranate continues to grow. I guess we'll see what it does. I mean, I'm not ripping it out. My rice paper rice plant, you know the thing. I like it. Can't wait for it to be huge. We've got some lavender blooming. Oh, and the daisies. Check out the daisies. It's just impressive. 3 years ago, I planted seeds, and every year it just keeps getting bigger, bolder, spreading. I totally forgot to plant my poppies, scatter my poppy seeds this year. And so I ended up with a couple volunteers. There's a pinkish one, a purplish one. There was a red one. The pods are over that way. Trust me on this. They all bloomed, so I will have seeds, so I'll be able to get a nice little mix to be able to plant next year. And look at what I'm just noticing. This right here is an elephant ear that I planted. A bulb that I kept from last year, a piece of one. And it's growing. So I'm curious to see how well it does. These are ones that I grew over in the greenhouse over winter. This one's really starting to get going. There's another angel trumpet, and it has a couple buds on it. That's just the pink one. Did you see the bamboo? Check out that bamboo. It's still leafing out, but I am just in love with this Philostachys vivax bamboo. These canna lilies are doing amazing. And then we've got our red hot pokers. Boy, each year they just continue to put on more and more blooms. I will deadhead these throughout the summer in hopes to keep them blooming. One of my cone flowers from last year is blooming, and it's turning into a nice little bush here. Check that out. I like the variety. All on that one plant. I like that little white stripe. We've got another one over here in bud. I'm thinking next video we'll be able to see some. Very happy that we've got growth on the palm tree. This is a pink mallow plant. It's growing pretty impressively. Can't wait to see what it looks like when it does bloom. Here, let's get another close-up of this poppy. I miss not having just a huge display of poppies. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Oh, you gotta check out my dahlias. The roses are currently taking a break from blooming. They'll return soon with more buds. My sun-loving planter, I forget what this is called, but this is doing great. Peeking out everywhere. My lantana, we had a couple different ones. This has not bloomed yet this year, but it's got some buds. And then we have our aster up here, which is an amazing color. We've got these random things here, like there and here. Those are 4 o'clocks. We'll wait for them to bloom. We've got our Hibernica, Siberia, La Herc or something. Great, you know, I rambled on about it before, but they're growing. So we are in the heat of the day. So the dahlias are a little wilty from the heat, a little stressed. This one, a lot of stressed. But they perk up every evening. And I give them a really good, during this heat, I'm giving them a good watering. I should cover them, give them some shade. I just don't have that means to be able to do that and to remove it as needed because of my travel schedule. So they will live or they won't. And if they don't, next year, someone else will be in its place. Here is another angel trumpet. Still kind of small, but it's got some growth happening. So I'm looking forward to that. This is Summer Joy, spelled with an O. Summer, S-O-M-M-E-R. We've got some pepper plants growing here. Sunflower Steve sunflowers. They seem to be chugging along very nicely. Again, we don't want things growing too fast at this point. It's all about the big weekend party in September or end of August. Well, would you look at that? Is that a bud? I see a bud. A dahlia has its first dahlia bud. Oh, and check this out. I went through and took some cuttings from some of my pelargoniums and a couple sucker cuttings from my tomatoes, and I put it in the spots where the dahlias didn't grow. My bird of paradise moving real slow, but you know what? I paid like nothing for this. But check it out. That's new growth. That's new growth. Maybe no new growth on this one. Maybe, hard to say. Ooh, there, new growth. So we've got some life happening. And I think that was the one that had some root rot going on when I repotted it into these new pots. So we will see what happens with these guys. Hey, and if you're growing dahlias, first time or been around a while, don't forget, if they're the kind that will grow 3 to 5 feet plus tall, once they get about 18 inches, go ahead and pinch those back so they'll bush out nicely. And then make sure to protect that opening so it doesn't fill with water. You don't want that to fill with water and rot. Oh, can't wait to see what these are. Oh, my granddaughter is just such a pleasure when she comes to Grandpa's garden. I moved an azalea bush over here. You'll see what I put in its place. Not the right time of year really to do that, but I've been having it watered very nicely in hopes to offset the struggles of moving it. My Lavatera is blooming. Some of the areas that were struggling, I just pruned back so they wouldn't have to struggle no more. And it could put all its energy out to growing. So I can't wait to see how big and just amazing that gets. Not a lot happening over here. A few things trying to figure its life out. A couple plants in there. I think I might have some foxglove from seeds growing there. I'm hoping that's what those are. It really appears to be. Oh, look, Ginger bringing her indoor toys outdoors. The grasses have been getting some regular watering now, so it is starting to fill in and grow again. Boy, having a couple pups chasing each other can really put a strain on your turf. Here is another angel trumpet, Brugmansia. I don't recall the name of this one. I think it's LBG. Curled leaves a little bit. I gave it a good deep watering with some fertilizer today. I'm not sure if this is overwatering or lack of fertilizer. They typically love water and are heavy feeders. It's been getting a lot of water. I've just not been feeding it heavily, so I'm hoping to see some difference. Check out the size of these blueberries. I wonder if the varmints will let me have any. And there, check out that angel trumpet. that is returning from last year. It is growing very nicely. And my canna lilies are already, what, almost 6 feet tall? Now, keep in mind, these are a shorter variety. They're about half the size they're gonna get. These are about half the size they're gonna get. I've thinned out some of the lower bamboo from last year's growth because I just want the big canes. Very nice. The Musa. No visit to my yard is not complete. No visit to my yard is complete without checking out the Musa. They are growing nicely, putting out a couple big new leaves a week. This was sold to me as a pineapple lily. It is getting ready to bloom. This is not a pineapple lily. I hope that the place I got it from went out of business. I've not been getting their junk email anymore, but nothing that I received from them either turned into what it was supposed to be, or did it grow. So here we have some more hollyhocks starting to bloom. Nothing that really excites me, but you know what? It's color. They're growing. Now this excites me though. Here we've got some seedlings growing. These are black ones that my YouTube buddy sent me. Oh, and if I'm lucky, I get to meet her this week. She's taking a trip into the area that I'm working at this week. So some of these hollyhocks are getting kind of big. Before we go, let's go this way and check out the shade garden. Oh, we'll start with the Hawaiian pot people. Hawaiian pot people. Don't you just love that fern? That fern just really kind of gives our Hawaiian lady a little attitude. Not sure what that's doing for our Hawaiian dude, but I love it. I love it a lot. I got my cow parsnip planted down there. It's doing well. My hardy Shf Shaffa is growing. My shea plant doesn't seem to be putting off any new growth. It's not dying. We'll wait and see. You know what? Maybe next year we'll just buy another one. My collection of bamboo back here. That's my bamboo. Haven't figured out what to do with it yet, or where to put it. Here's my shade garden. We do have at least one begonia flowering. Well, two, if you include the Sutherlandii. The wild geranium, or hardy geranium, hardy wild geranium. But the begonias continue to grow. That bush there, it's about twice the size. I think I need to figure out what might be eating these. Maybe need a little dusting of something on here. It's really just getting the grandies. My variegated, I don't know what that is. I don't recall. Grown a little bit. Hey, and I'm not sure if I had this completed last time, but we put some gravel, and then I made a little brick area. And this begonia is loving this area. I don't know if you recall, but I had this on my main patio, and I commented how the wife had stuck a stained glass frog in there she made. It's completely hidden now. My Jean Daniel begonia is showing some growth. This excites me. I'm hoping that with our warmer weather, proper watering, that it will continue to grow. It's a bush begonia, so it should just really just boom, shoot up. Well, let's go check out the tomatoes, or better yet, the tomato plants. Before we do that, here's another Brugmansia. Angel trumpet, they're everywhere. So the tomato plants are doing very well. I've been attempting to keep all the suckers cut out. I put a couple of the suckers in the ground. They're filling, a couple of them are filling in, a couple of them are struggling. I will never do a hanging basket tomato plant again. This baby needs like watered every hour or so. There's probably just too much in there, but it's full of tomatoes. So that's our challenge each week, is keeping this sucker happy. And in hopes we'll get some tomatoes. Whoa, my Passiflora passion vine. It is growing, look, and there's buds. There's buds everywhere. Buds, 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 buds. And it's doing so nicely, growing up. my homemade trellis. Very excited about that. Oh, and that azalea, well, we have a deck box now. That was fun to put together. It's something we can keep the cushions and whatnot in. I think that looks very nice there. This is well, let's just take a look at what it is. I don't remember. I have so many plants. I need to start putting stakes and color codes and stuff. So this is a Colocasia Royal Hawaiian Black Coral. Growing for its foliage. It sure is. And oh, looks like it'll get about 3 feet tall. It's done some really nice growing just since I put it in here a couple weeks back. So curious to see how it continues. Here's my FIA Japanica Spiderweb. And did anybody else watch that YouTube channel, Grow Paradise? That nursery, that guy out of Great Britain, UK? Wow. Now, granted, they're in like zone 9, so I have to be cautious of what I get from those folks. And by get, I mean the information that I get from them. Can't actually get any product from them. But there are 5 cold hardy Fatu Japonicas. I need to find all 5. My gladiolas are starting to bud, send up spikes. Love that. Probably going to relocate those this fall into the area behind the tomatoes. And then another large, this is just amazing. This angel trumpet, the scent is just absolutely amazing. My Chilean glory vines are blooming. You know, when I got this, I was told that the hummingbirds love these. That was not wrong. Hummingbirds do love these. And this is growing very nicely as it climbs up this trellis area I made with just a hog panel. I look forward to seeing what it will do as it fills in. The nasturtiums were doing their job, collecting all the aphids to protect all the other plants. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of big old giant humps of aphids, so I cut some of that out to get rid of that. The hibiscus here finally has a bud. I think it's its first bloom this year. It's a pink one. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and this red hot poker has a bud on it. It's the first year it's done that. You know, and that's my fault because I had a tiki torch on top right there, and it would get dripped with kerosene. It's a wonder it's even alive. And then we've got our red hibiscus that the wife picked up last year. Another look at that Cardon. Okay, so that's it for our walkthrough today. You know, that was only what, a couple minutes of your day. So however, if you did have something in the oven with a 10-minute timer, it probably went off a little while ago. The one thing we didn't talk about was some of the other patio begonias or my holiday cactus. That's because I'm going to keep that in reserve until they start blooming, really get blooming. I mean, you'll see this is just starting, but the ones down here are putting off some really great growth. Love having you come by. Getting so excited for my season end Hawaiian barbecue that's coming up, and just for more things to grow. We've got a project I'm hoping to get working on, so we'll start seeing some progress there. So much going on. You guys have an amazing week. Happy gardening. Enjoy your June. If you're in a heat wave area, well, get some air conditioning or crack a window. And the rest of you, enjoy the rest of your day.